For most parents, the festive season packed full of joyful pantomime visits, frantic shopping sprees and days spent watching seasonal films on the sofa. But for Ashley Stating, 29, and Stephen Molyneux, 37, from the Wirral, Merseyside, this year's celebrations have been blighted by unimaginable heartache. The youngster has been put under sedation so medics can check how much an aggressive and inoperable tumor in her brain has grown, which could leave her with just weeks to live. There are limited treatment options available in Britain, so Ashley and Stevens are now trying to raise £300,000 to fly Edie to Mexico for pioneering treatment. When the doctor told me that they found a tumor, it was like my whole world had ended, Ashley said in an exclusive interview with Female. I can't even describe it. I felt like my body was screaming, like my heart was physically in pain. We are so strong as a family, but sometimes I'll just look at her when she's asleep, and I'll think how innocent she is, and I'll just start crying. Ashley described how over the last few weeks the family had been coming to terms with the diagnosis. She said, "I was watching these children in the play and asked myself, will I ever see Edie like this, because she may never get to that age." This summer, Edie, who is sister to Naim, 4, and Lenny, 1, first began suffering with excruciating headaches that would leave the 3-year-old clutching her head, screaming in pain. She would hide under a blanket or somewhere dark, which made her parents think that she was suffering from migraines. Ashley, who suffers from migraines herself, took Edie to the GP. Doctors were almost certain that Edie's pains were indeed migraines, but suggested an MRI scan to be sure. Ashley, who works as a nursery nurse, continued, "We were waiting for the MRI results, and I was in the playroom with Edie on the ward. Because we were just ruling things out, I was there on my own. The pediatric consultant and the nurse came down, and he asked if Edie would be okay to stay with the play workers and asked could I come and have a little chat. My heart just there, and then just dropped. And my whole body went cold. I knew something was wrong." The location of the tumor, known as diffuse intrinsic pontine glioma, DIPG, means it cannot be operated on and surgically removed. Chemotherapy is not an option, because the amount needed to shrink the inch-long tumor would poison the rest of her body. Instead, the couple are hoping to fly Edie to Mexico for groundbreaking intra-arterial chemotherapy, which will directly target the tumor with chemotherapy. On a fundraising page, the family praised the positive results this treatment has had in similar cases. So far, an incredible £45,445 has been raised in just 2 weeks since the appeal was launched. Ashley admits that neither her or Steve are sleeping, because when they aren't frantically researching the condition, they are fundraising to pay for the treatment abroad. She said, "We sit looking at her, and you wish you could reach into her head and just pull it out." To be that close to this thing that is killing our daughter, but not being able to do anything about it is so painful. The mother of 3 said she worried about the effect Edie's illness has on her other children too. "We are trying so hard to stay cheery and positive for the other children and make sure they are getting a fair share of attention too. Lenny is just 1, so my worry is, will he even remember her? And that is just horrendous to think about. Will he remember that she was even here? Edie and Niam are best friends, they sleep in the same bed by choice, and everywhere they go they hold hands and cuddle. We know we will have to have a conversation with them both at some point, which is going to be heartbreaking." In what Ashley described as fate, during one hospital appointment she met another family whose daughter was also battling the same illness. Ashley added, "It was completely by chance that we bumped into Lucy Moroney and her dad at one of the hospitals. We were very early for our appointment, and he was quite late, so had we both been there at the time of our appointments we wouldn't have met." It was Lucy's father who told the family about this treatment in Mexico that is apparently helping with his 9-year-old daughter's tumor. Ashley said, "We've called the Spider Eve appeal because she absolutely loves Spider-Man.